When I was in 8th grade, my first period class was algebra, and I was always extremely tired during this class. I had trouble focusing and paying attention for more than a few seconds at a time, and it definitely didn't help that I wasn't too good at math during this time either. Was this due to a lack of sleep from playing Call of Duty Black Ops till 2 a.m. in the morning? Probably, but my mom suggested that I try coffee to perk me up and start improving my attention in the class. And thus, my caffeine addiction was born. Since 8th grade up until 2019, I drank at least a cup of coffee every single day. Caffeine was a crucial part of my life, and the thought of not consuming it at all never crossed my mind, even when I switched to consuming green tea earlier this year. These past few months, I've definitely been on a journey to a better self. I quit alcohol and smoking weed, and the next step for me was to ask this question. What if I did the unthinkable for 85% of Americans and I quit caffeine completely? And not just for 30 days like most self-help YouTubers do, but for 6 whole months. This is the story of what happened when I quit caffeine for 6 months and why I'm never going to drink it again, and why you might want to consider doing the same. Now, I have already tried to quit caffeine before. In fact, I have a video on this channel of me quitting drinking coffee for 7 days, and I just don't think that that was a long enough period of time to have an actual lasting impact on me. And after this, I went back to drinking coffee shortly after, so I wanted to do it for real this time, for a extended period of time, so that's why I chose half of an entire year. And I had no idea the incredible change that I would experience from 6 months of no caffeine. So here was the plan. I didn't actually have any sort of super structured plan. I just knew that I didn't want to consume any type of caffeine, whether that's coffee, green tea, energy drinks, or anything else you can think of for the next 6 months. Since I started this challenge only consuming 1 cup of green tea a day, I just decided to go cold turkey right away. Green tea has about half the amount of caffeine as coffee does, so I felt my dependency wasn't as big, and therefore I could go cold turkey. The first month was brutal. Every morning I'd get up and feel groggy, unmotivated, and unattentive. And during this month, it always felt like something was missing from me, or at least my morning routine. You know, you wake up, you get that warm cup of whatever in your hands, you get the smell of it, that first sip. All of that was taken away from me. And to be honest, during this period, I felt less productive. Focusing for longer periods of time was just not an option right now. My mind was wandering off several times every hour when I was doing work, and I had less energy when I was working out. And of course, the headaches. The headaches were outrageous, and this made me start to question if this was even the right move to do. Some of the most successful people on the planet drink it every single day, so it must not be that bad, right? And just before I was about to quit this challenge, I stopped myself and I told myself that this is just the first few weeks that we're getting through, and that the symptoms that I was feeling were withdrawal symptoms from a drug. And thinking about it that way was enough to get me to push through the next few months. In months 2 and 3, this is when the transformation really started to blossom. I was no longer dependent on caffeine. All of those nasty side effects went away, and I found that I had even more energy than when I used to consume caffeine. I also felt like I was consistently happier because I didn't have that mindset where before I have my coffee, I'm just angry and bitter and I need that coffee or else I'm gonna be this type of person. And my workouts returned to normal and I kept progressing just fine. I didn't need that extra energy from caffeine to bang out one more rep. And probably the biggest benefit to my experience personally was the vastly improved quality of sleep. Now you might be saying, Cole, how did it affect your sleep if you were only consuming 1 cup of tea in the morning before the studies say that caffeine affects your sleep? And my answer to that would be, I don't really know. Most studies say that if you consume it 8 hours before you sleep, it will wear off. But even with that low amount of caffeine in the morning, it must have affected my sleep quality somehow, because every day when I get up now, I just feel so much more well rested. And now the most recent months, months 4 through 6. At this moment in the present day, I feel fantastic without caffeine, to be honest. The benefits are all still there. No headaches, no grogginess, just the natural energy that my body produces uses on its own without anything outside of it. And now I never plan to drink it regularly again. Seeing all of these benefits that I've experienced over the past few months, it just makes no sense for me to get back on it and to start relying on something external. Maybe every once in a while I'll have like a few sips of coffee or something when I'm feeling real down, but for the most part I'm just gonna stay completely off of it. So why should you quit caffeine? If the majority of Americans and people around the world consume it, and it's been proven to be good for productivity and your memory, what's even the point of quitting? And if you do quit, it'll kind of make you an outcast. It's kind of taboo to not consume some form of caffeine, at least in American culture. Like when I tell people that I don't drink any sort of coffee, they look at me funny. But the biggest reason as to why I believe you need to quit caffeine is because no matter how you look at it, it is a drug that you are dependent on. I simply do not want to rely on an external substance to enhance the state of my body that was naturally given to me. I try to take a holistic approach to things, and I just think that eating right, moving your body, and resting adequately is the best way to reach an optimal human state. If something has all those side effects that I experienced when I came off of it, even on just one cup of tea a day, then clearly it is not good to drink this thing every single day. You might know why to quit, but how do you quit? How can you get yourself to quit, and what's the best method to approach this? For most of you out there, if you are drinking caffeine, then you're almost definitely drinking more than I was drinking when I decided to quit. So what I suggest for you is to slowly wean off of it. If you usually have 2 cups a day, go to 1.5 cups for a week, and then go to 1 cup for a week, and then go down to just half a cup the next week. I think that half cup intervals every week will reduce those side effects that I talked about earlier. And once you do accomplish the weaning aspect of it and fully come off of it, it's important not to just jump right back on the coffee grind like I did the first time I tried this. The best and most easy way to do this is to remove any and all caffeine from your house. That way, even if you are tempted, you have no chance to succumb to your temptations. And to replace that warm cup of coffee feeling in the morning, try drinking a caffeine-free herbal tea instead. No, it definitely won't give you the same feeling as a real caffeinated drink, but it will certainly help you stay off of it. And before you feel like giving up, just give yourself 1 or 2 months to get off of it to really start to feel the benefits, and you will be very, very, very happy that you did. Hope this gave you the motivation that you need to quit coffee or start weaning off of it. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like for me. It helps out my channel. It helps push this out to more avid coffee drinkers and caffeine drinkers. Thank you for sticking around till the end. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And this is Cole Hastings, the myth, the man, the legend. I'm just an average guy, to be honest. I'm gonna go now before I embarrass myself any further.